Welcome, Master Builders. Oh my gosh, it's Saturday. Fasten your seatbelts. You're not even gonna believe this one today. You're not gonna believe it. It's Saturday. I am so excited. Sam Hogan and Chelsea Ellis Hogan are joining us. Chelsea's the owner, CEO, and president of Jim Reynolds Asphalt. She's a best-selling author, motivational speaker, and business coach. She's like 26, 27 years old. I mean, what were you doing when you were 26? Seriously, unbelievable. She and her dad, Sam, by the way, Sam's no slouch himself, also a business coach, also ran his own business. They're experts in cryptocurrency. They're going to help us learn all about it. And then our friend, the wealthy crypto, Lisa Phillips, is going to be joining us. You remember Lisa? She's at the Economic Hope Forum. She's been here forum before. She's an awesome after party with us. She's a real estate mogul. She's a crypto expert. She's not just a believer in crypto. She's a ton of money at it. And so she's going to show you how. This is going to be off the hook. But first, we're going to start, as we always do, in prayer. So please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together for enlightenment. Open our hearts and minds to learn, to grow, and to help us lift each other up. And finally, Lord, help us to put aside our differences and come together as a community so that we can do your good work. To give you the glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And now Bridget Johnson is going to tell you all about our mission and core values here at Master Builders Academy.
Good morning and welcome to everyone. Welcome to Master Builders Academy, Forum number 3, Digital Stock Investing One-on-One. Did you know that our mission is to develop people, build businesses, establish financial futures, inspire communities to achieve intellectual and economic renaissance? Well, if you didn't know, now you know. And we also have a set of core values at Master Builders Academy. And we all know that death and life is in the power of the tongue. So we want to confess these core values today so they can become a part of us. I'm going to say each statement, and I want you to repeat after me. Our first one is be punctual. Our second one is be dependable. Our third one is be excellent. Our fourth one is be detailed. Our fifth one is be passionate and motivated. Our sixth one is be optimistic and positive. Our seventh one is be hungry and studious. Our eighth one is be supportive. Our ninth one is be benevolent. Our 10th one is be ethical. And again, you're in for a great forum. Enjoy.
Welcome, Master Builders. Hey, this is your day. Celebrate yourself right now. You got up. You did something that most people didn't do. At 8:30 in the morning on Saturday, most people are sitting somewhere having a little bit of coffee. They probably still rolling out the bed, sitting over there, ain't thinking about how they can build themselves, their future, their vision, to be able to build financially. Celebrate yourself just real quick. Give yourself some love because you want to do something better for yourself, the people that you love, your family, your community. You want to be a blessing. You want to do all of those different things because you believe it's more inside of you and that there's more coming to you. So thank you for being on. But also, I want to challenge you right now because some of y'all are scared. But to those who ain't scared, I want you to text this to somebody. I want you to text message them and say, join Master Builders Academy because I want you to be wealthy. Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody say, I want you to be wealthy. Just go ahead, put it in there. Come on, say, I want you to be wealthy. We're talking about your own. I want you to be wealthy. So if you got some people in your life that you really care about, some people that you want to know about what's going on, and some opportunities to be able to grow some passive income, some opportunities to have some exponential growth in their wealth, and to have opportunities to look into something that many people aren't aware of, I would hit them right now and tell them to join this broadcast. Because I'm telling you, when I tell you at Master Builder Academy, we've been bringing you some of the best in the game at what they do, that we are bringing you today some people who have some information that may completely change your financial future. I said what I said. I said what I said. We got some people on here today who have been changing financial futures for thousands of people around the country and around the world. And they've been doing it for years. We bring you some successful people, who are multi anything you want to name in their own right. And so we have the opportunity to be able to glean from them. So if you don't have your notepads out, Master Builders, grab your notepads. I got my electronic notes and my piece of paper over here. I ain't playing around today, and so I want you all to get the most that you can out of this one. We're going to be entering into the metaverse today. We're going to be entering into digital cryptocurrency. We're going to be talking about things that oftentimes feel a little bit scary. Some things that have many times been a little out of reach, and we say, I don't want to deal with it. I might lose it. Well, it might be a scam. It might be this right here. Well, this. And guess what? We got about the highest moving and increasing asset class is what we're going to talk about today. Over the last 5 years, it's been tremendous. And so, first up, we have two people. We have Sam Ellis and Chelsea Ellis Hogan. And I'm telling you right now, these two are entrepreneurs times entrepreneurs times entrepreneurs. They are successful in all areas of business, but also just great people. You've probably seen them around in the community, seen them online, sharing a lot of great information. I personally want to thank Sam Ellis, who came over my personal house to be able to share some wisdom with me and my wife. And so I just really appreciate people who are pouring back into the community, and they're going to give them the floor right now to talk about Digital Stock Investing 101, and they can be able to explain a little bit more in depth to you. Take your notes, and I appreciate both of you coming on. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello, hello. I do not see Chelsea. There she is.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Thank
morning,
you all.
Master. Good morning,
Thank you
Master
all for
Builders.
having
Good morning,
us today. But yes, to get started, my name is Chelsea Ellis Hogan, and as they mentioned, my father, Sam Ellis. We're here this morning just to share with you all a little information in regards to cryptocurrency. Through these last few years, we've spent a lot of time just studying and learning. But before I get to that, I want to share with you all a little bit about myself and my story, and then we'll move into a little bit of basic knowledge in regards to the money system, how it's developing, and then I'll let my father take over where he shares a little bit more in depth about cryptocurrency. So as I mentioned, my name is Chelsea. I was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm also a niece. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I enjoy different things such as just going out helping the community. I enjoy speaking. I also have a asphalt maintenance company alongside with my father, as well as I'm a #1 best-selling author of a motivational book called Fail to Success. So we can go to the next slide. So today I wanted to share a little information in regards to the stages of the financial system. And the reason why I wanted to start with this information, due to, as Mr. John mentioned, we see a lot of changes taking place now in the world in regards to the way the money system is going. So in regards to opening up our mind a little bit more for that information, it's always great to first start with, where did it all start from? Where did it begin? to how did we get where we are today. So the first thing I wanted to share with you all in regards to the first stage of the financial system and where we all got started was with the barter system. And we're all familiar with that. We've seen it in a lot of different shows and a lot of different things in regards to the barter system and how that was used in the past in regards to being able to trade things. We can go to the next slide now. So with the barter system, what it included was exchanging goods and services. So we didn't have paper money. We didn't have anything to exchange in regards to getting different things. So what we had to do was exchange what we needed. So if someone needed a cow, they would go out and exchange something for that. They may have made something with some wood, or they may have cooked some food, or they may have had a different type of animal. So with that, we had to exchange our goods and services in regards to being able to get what we needed in order to survive. So from there, we ended up leading to the next stage of the financial system that we got to, which was the gold and the silver standard. So this was when we got a little bit more structure. So we knew that we needed something more to be able to trade versus just trading things and trading stuff. So they used gold and silver because we wanted something that had a value to it. We figured in order to trade something, it had to have a meaning or have something. But of course, with that, we ended up being able to develop more and more and realize, okay, we cannot keep carrying around gold and silver. We need another way of doing our money system. So then we had to advance to the next stage, which is stage 3, which is our banking system. So when we got to the banking system, what we ended up developing into is things such as banknotes. So that's when we came up with paper money. And we got a little bit more lenient in regards to something having to have value in regards to being able to exchange it for things. So we said, okay, we can print out these things, these bills and this paper money. And if we put $1 on that, that means it has that value of $1. But the reason why we trusted this system was because in 1913, it was created by the Federal Reserve System. So it was a US banking system that governed it. So because of that, they started printing money, and we had a system that was able to track what was going on and have a receipt for the value of those dollar bills or those paper money that we were creating. So after paper money was created and we got a system, then we ended up progressing to the stage 4 of the banking system. So this came about when the internet started to develop, and they started creating something called a ledger or a spreadsheet and what we know today as online banking, so that not only the banks could track the money, but we also could see it through our mobile devices or other devices that we had in regards to the transactions that were being made. So also with this development came things like debit cards. So then we moved even further away from having to have something physical like paper money that we had to have in order to be able to say it had a value. Now we had a card, and because we were able to see on a digital wallet, which was our online banking system, we trusted that, hey, these transactions are true and that this is taking place. As well as with the banking system, if anything took place such as fraud, the bank was going to be able to track that, as well as we would be able to look and see it online and dispute anything that was taking place. So from stage 4, we ended up progressing even more into stage 5 of where we are now in regards to the system that we're using, which is cryptocurrency. So now something has been created that is 100% virtual currency. We realized through being able to develop over the years to online banking that as long as we had a ledger and something tracking all of these different transactions, that it could be completely virtual. Why not? Because that's where everyone is at now, and that's where the world is moving, is to the internet. So when cryptocurrency was created, they just basically created a ledger where everyone was able to have access to see what was going on and to see and track these transactions. Versus in our banking system today that we were using was only the banking system being able to track and being able to regulate all of those details. So it's amazing to see how things have continued to progress and how cryptocurrency was one of those things that was going to happen just due to us growing more and more in the digital world. And now we can go on to the next slide. So here are a few cryptocurrency terms that I wanted to share with you that when you're getting started in learning and opening up to this knowledge that you'll see and that you want to know very quickly. One term is decentralized, which means it's controlled by several local offices or authorities rather than one single one. So that means, as I mentioned with cryptocurrency, it's controlled by a lot of different ledgers, and everybody is able to have access to that data and see the transactions that's taking place. Another term is cryptocurrency mining. What that is a computer that's set up to crunch through all of the transactions that's taking place in the cryptocurrency world. So when we're trading different coins and all of these things are taking place, there's people who are using their computers and their internet and their systems in order to mine and be able to earn crypto through tracking these transactions. Another term that you'll see and want to know is blockchain. And what this is a system in which a record of transactions is made in Bitcoin, which is one of the main cryptocurrencies we know, as well as other cryptocurrencies that are maintained across several computers that are linked in a peer-to-peer network. So blockchain was a system that's created that tracks these transactions, and that is really becoming very popular in the cryptocurrency world. So the next thing that I wanted to discuss in regards to cryptocurrency is a lot of people, when we're first getting started, we hear Bitcoin. We know that as the key term of, cryptocurrency, and a lot of people even think Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that exists. But there's lots of other cryptocurrencies out here on the market that we're able to buy or even earn. So the reason why we have different cryptos is because they all have different types of technology, are better in different types of things. So for example, with Bitcoin, that was the first cryptocurrency that was ever created. And because of that, it has the largest value in regards to what it's worth. Then you have a cryptocurrency called Ethereum, which is great because it has a faster processing system than a lot of other cryptos. Then you may hear about a crypto called Cardano. And one thing that makes this different is because it's a superior technology in the cryptocurrency world. And then you have another one such as Litecoin, which has a newer algorithm. So as cryptocurrency progresses and as things grow, you will see different currencies come about in the crypto world that will either be attached to different industries or they will have different technologies that make them different and better. So just the same way that we have different credit card companies or different banks that specialize in different things. So one we may go to for lending, one we may go to for our real estate. That's the same thing that's going to take place in the cryptocurrency world. So we all will be able to research and figure out what cryptocurrency works best and fits us and our future goals. So the next thing I want to discuss is the fears that we have. So we know with anything new and any new industry, like for example, when the internet was the new thing or when social media was new, of course we had fears. We were wondering, okay, is this going to be bad? What's going to come with this? Is the internet going to be able to make people have access to our information and hack us? These are concerns that are normal, that we should have. But we also should realize that these are the things that come along with advancing technology. And it's all about making sure that we invest in things that are secure and as safe as possible. So with cryptocurrency, we have fears such as the volatility. So due to the fact of it being new, it's something that a lot of people are putting their money in, and then they may get scared, and guess what? Then they take it out, and then they put it back in. And because of that, it makes the market sometimes volatile. But does that mean that we should not invest in cryptocurrency? I would say no, because we know that it's a growing market and a great investment. Another reason why a lot of people fear cryptocurrency is it's something that's not accepted everywhere. So similar to like we can use our debit card with cryptocurrency, we only have certain places that we may be able to use and access that payment or that money. But that's not a bad thing. Like I mentioned, in every growing market, things are going to grow. And we see that taking place now where we see new systems like PayPal or other different transactional systems are now incorporating cryptocurrency in it. And that's going to continue to happen more and more. Another thing that people fear is things like criminal activity. And as I mentioned before, that is something that, of course, is normal to fear, but we realize it comes with anything that is valuable. So even with debit cards or with our banking system that we use now, there's possibilities of us being hacked or our debit card being stolen. So all of those things come with any market of doing a banking system or a money system. So those was the first things that I wanted to at least share with you all to be able to open up your mind to how we got to where we are today in the cryptocurrency world. Now I want to take the time to introduce my father. He has been my mentor. As John mentioned in the beginning, I started at a young age as an entrepreneur. I did not go the traditional way of education. As I call it, I took the Sam Ellis Academy way, and I studied underneath my father in regards to ways of developing as an entrepreneur. And one of the things that he was able to discover and teach me about was cryptocurrency. So now I want to turn it over to him so he can share a little bit more about the things he's learned as he's been invested in earning crypto.
Wow. Thank you, Chelsea. Every time I hear you do that presentation, I learn something different. I get chills because of being in this amazing space of cryptocurrency. So I want to thank you very much. Let's give Chelsea a round of applause. She did an amazing job. I also want to thank Master Builders Academy for inviting myself and Chelsea to your amazing platform. You guys are doing an awesome job in sharing knowledge with those who would accept it and take in knowledge. They want to take in knowledge. And John Mays, man, I enjoyed you as well as your wife. And you guys are amazing people as well. As I mentioned, my name is Sam Ellis. I come from humble beginnings. Was born and raised here in Louisville, Kentucky, the place that I live, been living for all my life. And matter of fact, I reside here in the West End right here today. And been in business for over 40 years, a long time. And I enjoyed every minute of it. And being in business for 40 years, I made a lot of mistakes. And one biggest mistake I made was with money. I started accumulating money at a very, very young age. But what the problem was, I didn't have money knowledge. So what do you do when you don't have money knowledge? Think about it. What do people do when they win the lottery and they get wealthy? What athletes do when they get their big contract, or great musicians? What do they usually do with their money that we heard over and over again? They squander the money away. Why? And I was starting to do the same thing. But in 2008, a light bulb went off and said, Sam, what are you doing? You're going down the wrong path. You're making all this money, but you don't have anything to show for it. If I wasn't buying real estate, I would have been broke at another level. So I said, well, let me go ahead and start studying money and studying people who are acquiring wealth and who are moving up in life. Let me see what they're doing. So I started taking money from my earnings and started traveling and studying about money. And it was amazing, the things that I learned. Some of the things that Chelsea even mentioned that I never knew about. And so I'm not a cryptocurrency expert by no means. I'm an entrepreneur and that love investing in multiple streams of income. I'm an entrepreneur that love learning about money and how money works. And so what happens is when you start studying money and how money works, then you attract money to you. You attract the foreign exchange, with some called Forex, which is the biggest market in the world. Trillions of dollars a day has been earned every single day in the foreign exchange. I had no idea what it was until I started studying money. And then the next one, when you start studying money, money is attracted to you, as I mentioned. So that's how I started learning about cryptocurrency. I had to learn about cryptocurrency because I love studying money and how money works. That's how I learned about real estate. So I'm not a cryptocurrency expert, but the reason why I'm in this space is because it's important to be in the space. As Chelsea mentioned, the future of money is in cryptocurrency. Listen, friends, I'm not a financial advisor. I have to mention that. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not going to give you any financial advice. Seek your financial advisor for advice. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. And I just want to share with you what I know, what I've been learning. And I've been learning about money. So the discussion is about money knowledge. And we heard the old adage, money is the root of all evil. Has often been subscribed to the Bible. I'm not a Bible scholar, but I do read it every day. But what I read is the love of money is the root of all evil. 1 Timothy 6:10. And that's in your King James Version, if you use that version. Some people have indeed developed a fondness for money and devoted themselves to the accumulation of riches. Some have become slaves of money and have reaped tragic consequences. We've heard those stories. I teach financial freedom that comes from knowledge about money and how money works. That's what I teach. Financial freedom. Knowledge equals financial freedom. When managed properly, however, money can be a useful tool. The Bible acknowledges that money solves a lot of problems, right? Think about if you don't have any money, how many problems you're going to have. One, if you're married, you're going to have problems with your family, your wife, and your children. Ecclesiastes 10:19. My story of money, again, is that I started off poor family. My mom raised 5 children in the West End, over Shawnee area. We didn't have anything. We was happy, but my mother went to the DAV and clothed us. Only thing she didn't buy from the DAV was our socks and our drawers, our underwear. I guess that's the proper word to use. That's it. Other than that, that's where we got our clothes from. So I started out very poor, but I made a decision. that I wasn't going to stay that way. And entrepreneurship got me out of poverty. So again, even though I started making money and I bought my first home at the age of 23, and to flip that home and create a business, a parking lot sweeping business that I sold in 2017 for a lot of money, I still didn't understand money and how money worked. See, although the Bible does not claim to be your financial handbook, it does contain practical advice that can help you to manage money wisely. The following 4 steps are commonly recommended by financial advisors, and they are consistent with principles that are recorded in the Bible and my principles. One is know what your income is and spend less than you earn. So it's important to save. The Bible record shows that the ancient Israelites were taught the value of saving. They were told to set aside a tenth each year to be used exclusively for attending national festivals. It's interesting. Deuteronomy 14:22-27. The Apostle Paul likewise encouraged earlier Christians to set aside savings each week. They could later contribute something to help the needy family believers. 1 Corinthians 16, 1 and 2. Most financial planners encourage savings. Make saving a priority. As soon as you get paid, deposit the amount you wish to save in a bank or other locations for safekeeping. That would help you to fight any temptation to spend those funds. My experience. Most people buy stuff before they invest. Mistake. I remember my home, my mother's home. Oh my God, we had stuff all over the place. All over the place, all over the walls, everywhere. Stuff. My mom bought stuff before she invested. That's why it took us so long to get a home. We finally had a home that we could live in. We first was living place to place to place to place because my mom bought stuff. And most people do. They buy stuff before they invest. Don't do that. Let's tell our family and friends, don't do that. Invest first. We always heard the saying, pay yourself first. So all I'm saying is invest in cryptocurrency. Look at cryptocurrency as an option for saving. Because we're talking about saving. Budget. This is the only practical way to monitor, control, or reduce your spending. It's a budget. A good budget can give you a sense of where your money goes, and it can help you to reach your financial goals. Know what your income is and spend less than you earn. Learn the difference between needs and wants. Along the line, Jesus wisely urged his followers to calculate the expense before undertaking any project. Luke 14:28. The Bible advises us to avoid unnecessary debt. Proverbs 22:7. I'm not your financial advisor, but consider putting cryptocurrency in your budget. Plan carefully. Carefully considering your future needs. For instance, if you plan to purchase a home or apartment complex, obtaining a mortgage at a reasonable rate may be a good decision, right? Similarly, a family man may feel the need to purchase life insurance, disability, or other forms of insurance to protect his family and loved ones. Consider your needs for the future may also involve planning for retirement. Proverbs 21:5 reminds us that the plans of the diligent one surely make for advancement or an advantage. We need to learn the difference between needs and wants. It's something we have to work on all the time because the world puts all this stuff in front of us. I'm not your financial advisor, but consider cryptocurrency as part of your retirement plan. I remember a financial advisor came over to my house. I like them to come over and talk to me about the different things that's going on. They want to see my plan and everything. And yes, I invest in stock, I have real estate, but it's amazing what cryptocurrency has done to my financial portfolio and put me in line for retirement as well as generational wealth. Generational wealth. So I'm working on the generational wealth part now, right? Chelsea. She loves my plan. Chelsea and my other siblings and my grandkids and my great-grandkids and my great-grandkids. An interesting story. Chelsea had me do a video, and you guys should think about this because she wants my because she felt like that the wealth had started from me, right? The wealth started from me because I decided to take in knowledge about money. And so she said, Dad, I want you to do a video to talk about you and your, where you came from and where you started from and your parents and what they meant to you and your grandparents and think about your grandkids and your great grandkids and your great grandkids and on and on and on. So they'll know who you are. And I went back and listened to that video for the first time yesterday. Chelsea sent it to me. It was amazing. Something to think about. And I used to always say, you're going to put my plaque, my big picture on your wall because great granddaddy Sam Ellis started this wealth building project for our family. So learn, invest in yourself by acquiring skills. This is the most important part of this right here. Invest in yourself by acquiring skills and taking care of your physical and emotional health. These are investments that will pay you back, make learning a lifelong habit. And that's what you guys are doing. That's why you're here this morning. The Bible puts a high value on practical wisdom and thinking ability. And it urges us to keep on developing them. Proverbs 3:21, 22, Ecclesiastes 10:10. People always ask me, Sam, where do you get your knowledge from? Why do you think the way you think? How do you come up with all this stuff? Why are you so successful? I gotta tell you, it comes from the Bible, from the practical wisdom and thinking ability. And I'm not preaching here or nothing. I'm just sharing this because it's the truth. All the books that I read thousands of books. I read a book every month, a new book every month, and I read the Bible every day. But the best book that I've ever read that gave me the best knowledge is the Bible. The other books are just stories of people. Everything comes from the first source. I'm not your success coach, but I'm your neighbor, and I'm telling you to look at investing in cryptocurrency. And I have created a course. It's called the Cryptocurrency Crash Course. I have a team of individuals that are part of the Cryptocurrency Crash Course, thousands of people from all over the world. And some of those people are very good at cryptocurrency. They are the experts, and they bring their knowledge into the crash course to share it with us. And the way you can find that course, maybe you can put it in the chat, is crypto.westlouisvillecrypto.com. That's the website. That's where you can find me at, and that's where you can. That course is only, I think, it's like $7.95 a month, and very inexpensive for you to be able to start gaining knowledge on cryptocurrency. That's my gift. And if you invite 2 people, you get it. It's free because they give you a 50% commission every time you invite somebody. You get an affiliate of 50%. So you better get it for free. And that's so again, I thank you guys so much. I hope we brought value to you all today. That's our goal and our purpose in life, is to share the knowledge that we do have. And as we continue gaining more knowledge, we want to share more knowledge. But I hand it back over to you, John.
Wow. Sam, Chelsea. Hey, I told y'all, Master Builder, I told you what was going to happen. And then they delivered. Oh my goodness. You all gave us a whole tablet full of game. If we don't invest now, if we can't see it now, then I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. You let us know clearly about biblical principles that lead to wealth. You also encouraged us and shared us your history and your background. But then at the same time, you sharing with us ways where we can educate ourselves to build our own personal knowledge around cryptocurrency, and encouraging us to be able to invest in that manner for our retirement, for our future. And so thank you so much. Those principles, knowing how much you spend, spending less than you make, investing first, knowing your needs versus your wants, considering crypto as part of your retirement plan, investing in yourself by acquiring skills, taking care of your physical and emotional health, making learning a lifelong habit, practical application of God's word in your life is going to help you to become wealthy. And then this cryptocurrency crash course that he left you with a golden jewel. Now, be hungry and studious, Master Builders. He said they're going to drop that. It's crypto.westlouisvillecrypto.com. It's pinned in the chat on Facebook. Make sure that you click that link, $7.99. If you don't sign up for a month, you might be playing yourself. Don't play yourself. Get yourself right. It's worth it all day long to educate in that way. So next up, I'm very, very excited to give you Lisa Phillips. I'm telling you, we have, I will never forget, I was searching for books and information online, and I got this one book, and it was one of the few investors in real estate who understood the type of market that I live in currently. We're in Louisville, Kentucky. I live in West Louisville, Kentucky as well. But, who understood the market where I live and said, hey, you can buy houses in working class neighborhoods and that you care about, and that you can fix those houses, and that you can be able to provide great housing for people in your community, and that you would be able to build some wealth through that. And she gives a very, very step-by-step way where regular people, average everyday people can do that. When many people discouraged it, she celebrated it, and she's been building up communities all over the United States using her great formula, and has mentored thousands of different people in this space. For the last several years, she has been killing it with cryptocurrency. And so she has been dropping jewels and nuggets. And I just remember that we had Lisa Phillips on a couple years ago. And if you'd invested then, your money would be probably about 4 to 5 times higher than what it was then. And so it's very interesting if we can just listen, follow the information that's being shared, execute on the information that's being shared, and we can do some massive things together. So I'm so thankful that we have Lisa Phillips back. So we're going to bring you on now. Thank you so much. Looking forward to you sharing with us more information as we learn this digital investing 101, and we continue with this. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I came on before to talk about cryptocurrency and to really give an overview for beginners. We are going to take that up a notch and go into addressing some of the myths and fears. There is a lot of money to be made in cryptocurrency. You've seen it. Millionaires, from 16-year-old Dogecoin millionaires, 20-year-old millionaires, right? There is no reason it can't be you if you have the right mindset. I will share with you the mindset that has made me successful, as well as been able to make it so that I can invest and not get so panicked and worked up when I see things occurring in the market, because with knowledge and education, we can easily play the game and wrap ourselves around it. Okay, so with that, we can start the slides. But this is all, like, at the end of the day, this is revolutionary. It is about making money, and it is about retirement for me. I've already seen the gains in 4 years. So today it's going to be Bitcoin myths, how to manage the risk, and strategies for beginners. So a little bit different, and really go into it. So there are real reasons, real fears, real concerns about cryptocurrency. We're going to address it. So the Wealthy Crypto, my name is Lisa Phillips. I did start my online platform as an educator and mentor with real estate investing, specifically rental properties targeted in working class neighborhoods, usually minority neighborhoods as well. And I'm a best-selling author. I grew a book, and I have a platform and with that, and a following who follows for that sort of information and education. However, from 2017 until now, I also invested in cryptocurrency and was pretty successful. So it's my goal to get everyone to just have a modest outlook, a modest way of investing without being too overwhelmed to get you started, and then start showing you how you can start branching out. So next slide. So at the end, you will find that the courses and workshops I've done on that will be seen at the end at thewealthycrypto.teachable.com, where I put my education materials. Next slide. All right. So I don't want to spend too much time going over every aspect of why it's here to stay, but I'll go over some of what I think are the main points. It's official currency of El Salvador and just made legal tender of Russia. Russia. Okay. It has the backing of large corporations who are buying it daily. And we're going to talk about some of the concerns and fears about that later with the banks, because they're part of the fear mongering because they want to get as much as they can before they let you have it. Facebook, it's basing its new vision called Meta off of a sliver of it, the metaverse market and decentralization metaverse, which is the alternate reality. Facebook has a whole division, changed their name officially from Facebook to Meta as a nod to their willingness to absolutely compete in a very big way in this space, right? So if Amazon and Facebook does something, you really should pay attention because they're global market movers. It's made 16-year-old Dogecoin millionaires and 20-year-old Bitcoin millionaires. We already know that. That's been in the news. And in short, the sooner you learn and understand the technology, the better set you'll be for generational wealth. And go to the next slide. But there are some valid concerns and not some valid concerns. So I want to go over those because when I talk to people, everyone knows that people can make money. They've seen people make money, but they've seen people get, as they say in our terms, don't get wrecked. Wrecked is when you lose all your money, right? But that is a real thing that has happened. And so education and knowing how to strategize and play the game is part of that. And as a new investor, if you have not invested yet because of these fears and concerns, I want to address them. So just a little background about me and why I started talking about this. Back in 2017, when everybody was talking, I heard about it in 2014, but I didn't invest when it was $172. I just didn't at that, what I knew then, I just didn't believe that the people making it had enough to push it through. But I absolutely love the idea, the technology, what it stood for. I just didn't think they could push it through. So in 2017, all of a sudden, this money is exploding. Something I already thought was an amazing, revolutionary, decentralized concept. I was like, let me jump on this. And so in 2017, around December, right when it was going up, I invested about $7,000 of my money. And then what happened was like my 7,000 turned to like 20,000, but then it fell because it crashed. At that time, I was not aware that that was the cyclical in nature because I wasn't as educated. So I just sat there looking at it. But at that moment, there is something inside me that says, this is the future. This is going to be it. So yeah, I'm not going to sell anything that I purchased because if I sell, I never get the $7,000 back, right? And that was like from my stock and savings account, right? So I really, it wasn't all the money I had, but it was pretty, significant at the time. But when it crashed and lost 80% of its value, some of the volatility we'll discuss and manage in the end. Selling would have been a guaranteed loss, whereas like I already lost it, so I might as well just sit and wait on it. But at that moment, I decided I believe in this. So what I started doing was I allocated $200. That was my investing fund each month into buying more crypto. And I did that from 2017 through 2021. My goal was to do it for the next 10 years. I did not know at the time that I know now, well, every 4-year cycle, you can 20x your return. I know that now, and I've seen that. But at the time, I just thought maybe in 10 years, this is going to be it. But they proved to me that they had what it took to get it to be mainstream. So I was all in as it being the future because I truly believe in its ideals of being decentralized. And it is if you're educated and know how to do that. But that initial investment of $7,200 a month over 3 years turned into $150,000. Now, y'all, listen, That's money, okay? Like that is, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from, but that was money to me. And I was like, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Like what? Everybody, you need to do this. I don't care if it's $10 a month. I don't care if it's 50. You need to be able to see the future as I saw it and come down. And so it came back down a little bit, but it's still up there 10, 15x of where it was. So it is cyclical, but now I understand the cyclical nature of it. I understand the 4-year cycle. Now it's easy. So it's easy to navigate the real risk with cryptocurrency if you're educated and know how to play the game. I'm going to give you some tips on playing the game that a lot of new investors don't have because they're chasing too much and they're not focused. So I'm going to tell you guys what I focus on and what's successful for me. And today you're going to learn how. So we can go to the next slide. So I'm going to start right now. If that's too small, don't worry. I'm going to talk to it so you don't have to worry about reading everything. But I'm going to talk about the myths and outright lies and deceptions. Okay. We need to address this because put in the chat if there's a nicer word than ignorant, because people tell me their thoughts on cryptos and it's plain wrong. It is uninformed. It is ignorant. And I need a soft way of saying, excuse me, sir, that is misplaced. But I really need to come up with, people really get upset when you use the word ignorant, even though it is what it is. But yeah, if you can put in some terms that when people say these things, it's just untrue and they have no knowledge or information. They're just talking from opinion and not fact. I think uninformed. Yeah. So we all need these words for when people, because in this market, there is too much money to be made to allow ignorance and misinformation block your blessings. Are you with me? It is too much money. And I mean this with my whole heart. And for misinformation to keep you from this. Okay. And that's what I'm going to explain today. So one person, so I talked to different people, and one of the myths that they told me, well, it's tied to the US dollar. Cryptocurrency is not tied to the US dollar. It has its own value based on supply and demand for that particular coin. The supply and demand depends on what is it used for, what is its utility, what is its investment purpose, what is its technological infrastructure that it delivers, right? I'll give you an example. There's 16,000 cryptocurrency. I invest in one called Helium. Helium is a network of, you get these, and I actually bought a Bobcat, a little thing. And what it does is it sends out a little signal so that, those little Mint bikes and scooters, when it rolls around, it's always connected to the network. And the more people, individuals who have these little miners or these little action points in their houses, it makes the network more robust and decentralized. So it's its own lo-fi network for those little scooters that you see people parking everywhere. I get paid from that. That is useful technological function for a cryptocurrency. So it's its own thing. It's not tied to the dollar. It's tied to how much helium you're purchasing and how many people are investing in it for that particular niche of a lo-fi network, as well as the ability for me to earn mining points as I allow the network to be up and running in my property, right? It has nothing to do with the US dollars. It's about its value, its technological value, what it's providing, and what I get in return for investing in it. Nothing to do with the US dollar. So there's 16,000 cryptocurrency. You can't just say it's tied to the US dollar. That is misinformed, okay? I like John Mazes. He said misplaced. Right. So it's not. Now, are there some cryptocurrencies unknowledgeable? So unschooled. I like that one. Okay, I do like a little bit of an edge because I don't like when people talk and they don't know what they're talking about. Right. So cryptocurrency is not tied to the dollars, although it's tied to the individual. And I want to give you 2 examples of that. For instance, Bitcoin, it's all about supply and demand. It's usually readily accessible in the US, correct? However, if you go to, at one point in Nigeria, still in Nigeria and in South Korea, the South Korea and Nigerian government said it was banned and you couldn't own it. So in order for people to get cryptocurrency, they couldn't go to an exchange, which generally has the lowest rates to get it, just a few fees above market price. They had to go individually, and it's peer-to-peer. So in South Korea and in Nigeria, all of a sudden it was called like the Nigerian premium or the South Korean premium. In order for them to get crypto, it was 25% more because they had to get it from private individuals within the country because they couldn't get it from the main exchanges when their governments did that. And so for them and their locality has nothing to do with the US dollars. It was how can they get cryptocurrency? And for them, and because of their governments, they had to have a higher premium in order to access it from private individuals who charged for that ability to give it to them. You see what I mean? It had nothing to do with the US dollar. Okay. So that's really misinformed or misplaced or unschooled. And I don't want you guys to hear that. So if you hear that in conversation, you really need to just knock that down because it's just uninformed. Right. And it's all about supply and demand for that particular crypto. So they're not doing helium in Nigeria right now, although it would be an excellent, really excellent thing for them to do, to have a lo-fi network that's sort of, you have the miner, and as it's mined, it has this little lo-fi or a medium-fi hotspot that people can use. And the more people who have the miners, not only do I get currency for mining it, but it creates a decentralized Wi-Fi network. I mean, this would be amazing in those countries. So who knows? Helium at this price today, if it catches on in different countries that need the infrastructure, can really take off and be worth a lot of money. And I honestly see that happening as long as the team keeps working. I'm invested in helium. So yes, I am, right? But it's all about the technology. Now, there are some currencies that are tied to the US dollar. There's called stable coins. So there's stable coins tied to the US dollar. There are stable coins tied to the euro. There are stable coins tied to the pound. There are stable coins tied to different, like I think the Mexican peso has one. Those are those particular coins that are specifically for if you put money in, they're stable. So cryptocurrency is too big for you to say this is X. It is dependent upon which currency and what its focus is. I want to talk about a second myth. It's backed by nothing. I think that is so hilarious because, as you know, the US dollar was on gold. So that was backed by something. Now it's backed by the Americans' ability to repay and a promise, which I don't know if you've been looking around, but I have never seen a bigger threat to that ability to repay with outstanding debt and a horrible economy and no signs of recovery than I have ever had in my entire life. So that backed by our promise to repay, I've never seen a bigger threat to it than I have today. So let's talk about backed by nothing. So that's not nothing. That's like, well, the US is able to deliver, but we're on shaky grounds right now. So what is it really backed on? But I wanted to talk about what went into creating, and I'm just going to focus on Bitcoin, although all of them are different. Bitcoin alone requires about as much energy in a year to mine 1 year's supply of Bitcoin as powers Sweden. A year's worth of power of an entire country is how much. And this isn't assuming it's green, because in some operations, it's up to 90% green in solar energy or windmill energy or hydropower energy, because that gives them more profit. They are literally encouraged to go green. And some mining farms are up to 90% green energy. So we're not talking about the environmental impact, because it's really overblown for people who are misinformed and aren't aware. But yeah, so enough power for each year of Bitcoin to form the equivalent of powering an entire Swedish country every single year. That amount of power going into the creation of anything is not nothing. That is pure energy in its rawest form. Metaphysically or physically, that was converted into a tangible asset. Behind that power and that conversion is mining equipment that's worth $1,700 a rig. And some rigs have, some operations have 500 to 1,000 rigs. So you're talking, not only that, you're talking hardcore, high-end, ASIC, computer-based mining equipment purchased all over the world that has a resale value is backed by it. And I say this because sometimes people say it's nothing. I'm like, all this mining gear that can be resold for 80 to 90% of its value is millions of dollars. It's backed by real technological hardware that has a value and retains its value. That is not nothing, right? It also has the authoritative nod of Russia and El Salvador, giving it more credence. So it has authority and eminence as it's taking place on the world stage as actual currency. Even here in the United States, I can completely live off crypto, and I did for a minute. And in essence, it's backed by hardware, power, prestige. It is backed by the people purchasing it. It is backed by us. It is backed by a lot of thought power, metaphysical power, energetic real power, as well as idealism about the revolutionary aspect of decentralizing our access through currency. It is backed by ideology and theory, as well as the people who are doing it. So it's not nothing, but people aren't always as nuanced to be able to see how much power, energy, pure energy went into the creation of this thing. So it's backed by quite a bit, and millions of people who hold it around the world. Next slide. Okay, I already did that. Okay, I'm gonna skip to it's a scam. So this one always gets me because cryptocurrency is very straightforward. You do need to educate yourself. There's nothing I can really say to that because they say, oh, it's this. Like you have to keep feeding into it for the well, you don't have to keep feeding into anything. So let's talk about stable coins. If you purchase more stable coins or not purchase more stable coins, like coins that are tied to like one currency, it does not need more of you in order for it to flourish or not flourish. It's tied to a stable coin, right? When I'm talking about the Helium network, the one that I've invested in, one of the currency for the lo-fi Wi-Fi spots to decentralize like access to that, it has nothing to do with a Ponzi scheme. You join or you don't join, but it's based off the technology it earns as you use the product to create lo-fi decentralized spots for people to use and access for whatever particular item that they're using. Has nothing to do. So when they say it's a scam, it's too broad. Which coin are you talking about? Are you talking about Chainlink, which is used as the Oracle database to grab information and come back? What's the scam about it? That one's been pretty stable, pretty consistent, and has nothing to do with more people needing to be getting it at the top in order for it to have value. It has value on its own right for what it's here to provide. So that's why it's such a large thing, because each cryptocurrency is so different. It means nothing. So Mana and Sandbox are what I call utility coins. They are coins that are used within their metaverse universe. So Decentraland and Sandbox are two sort of virtual reality metaverse type universes. Mana is not a Ponzi scheme. It doesn't need more of you in order to keep anything going. People use Mana to purchase land or to interact or buy NFTs within its metaverse. It is a useful utility. It has a certain amount of supply, but it has nothing to do with the scam or Ponzi scheme. It is strictly based on this is how many are available. This is what people are using it to purchase. If there's only so much within this metaverse, you are stuck with that. It's nothing to do about a scam or Ponzi. So what people are really confusing is they're just saying cryptocurrency is X. And what I'm trying to get you to understand, there are over 16,000 cryptocurrencies. There are some for stable coins. There are some for utility. There are some for Wi-Fi networks. There are some for Bitcoin just as a store of value. Which currency are you talking about and why is it a scam? And then that's when you might be able to get into more of a discussion and talk about it. But it's too big to just say it's a scam. There's too many different things that have too many different purposes that has nothing to do with it being a Ponzi. But that is a common thing, and that's how I respond. And cryptocurrency is volatile. It depends. It depends on what coin you get. If you get a stable coin tied to one asset, then it's not. If you get other coins like XLM or Stellar or Ripple, that's XLM and XRP. So don't focus too much on these names. You can find them out later because these are very popular. They pretty much maintain their value and don't have large pops because there's so many available in the supply chain, and they were made to be very stable. Ripple was made to be a banking transaction where it wasn't swinging wildly. You could do the transaction and it will really maintain its value while the transaction was fast and completed. It was not made to be a cryptocurrency that was wildly swinging. So which one is volatile? Are you seeing me? So are you guys understanding that all of these myths, you are trying to categorize for 16,000 cryptocurrency like they're all the same, and they are completely fundamentally 100%. Most of them are completely different. So that is very uninformed, but it is very real. This is what they think. And I'm just trying to give you guys, if this has been some of your concerns, I'm just trying to address them. So money is made in the nuance, not the blanket statements. So when I work with people in real estate investing, they might go to Trulia and see a crime map of a zip code, and the zip code might be red. There are 200 blocks within that zip code. Not all 5 of them have crime, but because that whole zip code is red, no one looks at it. Well, my clients and me, we pick up a lot of good rental properties because we're like, let's just avoid the 5 neighborhoods. The money is made not in generalized statement. The money is made in nuance and understanding the differences. And that's what education comes from. Next slide, please. Just want to give you guys an example. So you have to be able to sort through the myths. If you want to make money, you have to educate yourself on these nuances. And you don't have to do anything, but there's too much money to be made and too easy to play this game with just a little bit of knowledge for you not to jump on the plane. Some of these lies are very deliberate. We're going to talk about that. But each one teach one, and it's your choice if you're going to stay in the misinformation pile or informed decision pile and make the very easy money. And I want to just say right now, my method is buy and hold. My real estate investing is buy and hold. It has served me very well. So when I do this, all these things are true, but I definitely have a very long-term strategy. So when I looked at my portfolio and I bought a couple of Bitcoin and it went up and down, my strategy isn't a 9-month strategy. It's a 4-year cycle. So do I care that it went up and down? No. As long as it doesn't go below where I purchased it at, and it hasn't. It's consistently been up. But it's a 4-year cycle. So I just wanted to say, if you guys have that mindset, and even if you do $50 a year, but I'm giving you the knowledge and the charts back this up. If you have that long-term 4-year cycle, which I do, doesn't matter what it does in 9 months or a year and a half. You're just putting it away. And honestly, now at this point, I don't even necessarily buy more Bitcoin because I did purchase quite a bit. I live off the residual income and the 6% interest. Well, I don't live off of it, but I get 6% interest every single month on Bitcoin alone, let alone my other cryptocurrencies. So that gives me anywhere from $200 to $400 a month in Bitcoin. So I no longer have to buy $200 worth like I did from 2017 to 2021. I let it do it on its own now. So it's building itself for me, let alone the other cash flow. Yeah. Well, Keisha, it's all about supply and demand in that particular crypto. So yeah, if they want it in Nigeria and you can't go easily to an exchange, you have to get it from another person and they have to buy it whole and they're going to charge you for that. So South Korea and Nigeria have a premium for it. Yeah. All right. So we'll keep going. So there are some, thank you. I am. It really serves you well, but you have to be able to have an outlook of being able to buy and hold and just calm down a little bit. But man, it's worth it. And it's the easiest. Me putting $50 a month or you putting $50 a month on autopilot, buying Bitcoin that goes into an interest-bearing account that pays you 6% a month. That is very low effort. Don't make this difficult and it'll work. You can have your everyday money that you don't think about and then play with like the big stuff. But that is what I would do. And I just wanted to give you an outlook that works for me emotionally so I don't get tied to the ups and downs. Like it literally doesn't matter because I'm on a 4-year schedule. So, but there are some real risks and real concerns that are valid. So let's educate ourselves. It's a little light if you can't see it on this particular screen. Don't worry, I will speak to it. It's too volatile. Well, this depends on the coin and your strategy. There are some coins. So there's 2 aspects to it. It depends on which coin you purchase. There are stable coins. There are coins that are made to not move up and down. The coins that are made to not move up and down, they are still viable options like stable coins. I can get anywhere from 8% interest to 20% interest on stable coins. There is a place in your portfolio to just put $1,000 there for the year and just collect interest. So it depends on the coin. There are reasons you would get some of these coins. For instance, I have a cashback credit card through Coinbase. I get 4% on XLM. I like XLM because it doesn't change its value too much and it's 4%. I only get 1% back on Bitcoin. I like the 4% because I can do something with it. And when I convert it into cash, for the most part, I don't have too many gains or losses. So I'm not paying taxes on it because it's basically the same amount when I got it. It's on the outside. You see what I mean? And then I use that extra 4% cash back to spend and buy things with, right? So it depends on the coin you get if it has volatility. But if it doesn't have volatility, it generally gives you money back in interest rates for you to just hold it and keep it. which is completely viable because you're getting less than 1% from the bank. So a lot of the new clients that I work with, because I work with people who are new to investor and we do one-on-one consultations, part of it is they're a little nervous taking their money out of the banks because you do have FDIC and putting it in crypto. But what I get them to do is take like 10%, put it in a stable coin. And I tell them there's different stable coins. So which ones I prefer, right? Because money is made in the nuance and risk management is made in the nuance. In this case, I say the Gemini dollar and USDC because these are both audited and backed institutions that are flush with cash, as well as they've been really above board. So those are my favorite. And you can get up to 15% interest just on holding it in that. So it's a really good introduction into doing that. But then you have coins that are Ethereum and Bitcoin, which are very volatile. Or you have new coins that just go out that might run up and then crash, but then come back again. And that is your choice on which ones you want to do. So Bitcoin is not volatile over a 4-year cycle, but it is over a week cycle, over a 2-month cycle, over a 9-month cycle. So if it's not volatile over 4 years, the thing is, if you purchase that particular item, you need to know what the life cycle is when it always has shown consistent gains. So it is too volatile, but it depends on your strategy. So if I have a 4-year Bitcoin strategy, I don't care. Because over 4 years, consistently, we have shown an 18x to 20x return on the 4-year cycle, which was built into the code. And I'm telling you that because that's information people do not research, but I'm giving it to you. So now you're good. Okay. So another real valid risk is that if you lose your money or put the wrong address in, you can't get it back. This is true. So these are the risk management strategies that I employ because I am very aware of that. For the most part, I generally use the QR codes versus hand typing the address. I do that because hand typing is prone to human error. A QR code has been 100% accurate. When I take it, scan it on my phone, it pops up the address, and then I send it. The other risk management strategy that I use, or copying and pasting, the other risk management I use on top of that is I check the first 10 characters and the last 10. If you want, you can check the whole line. As a beginner, I checked the whole line like twice, but then I was like, let me just do the first 10 and last 10. It adds up and I keep going. I make sure there's no spaces or anything like that, right? So that's my second layer of risk management. My third layer of risk management, you're not going to like it, but if you've been in crypto long enough, you're going to do it because you don't want anything bad happening. My third risk management strategy for not losing money is I do 2 payments. So there is a reason I prefer XLM and Litecoin, which has 0 fees and are super fast to transfer money and then convert them to what I want, where I get it to the different places. Sometimes you want to take money from one exchange to another because another exchange has a coin you want to purchase. And I generally do all of my transferring in XLM, Ripple, or Litecoin, which are very low cost cryptocurrencies, made to be fast, made to be very cheap. And Litecoin and XLM and Ripple are pretty much everywhere, especially XLM and Litecoin. So most exchanges have it, where if it's like Atom or another coin that's sort of relatively new, the exchange may not have it for you to be able to transfer it, right? So I do too. I will do and sometimes I'm transferring, 10,000, 12,000. I'm not doing it in one go. I did it before and I didn't do the double. And I sweated bullets because I thought I messed up because I might have sent it to the wrong protocol. I was like, which protocol is it? So sometimes they change protocols and you'll see it. They're like, which protocol? And you're like, oh, I don't know. On this end, it doesn't say. You want to do a tester with a low amount and just pay the fees. Pay the fees for right now. That is the premium. So I made $150,000 from 15,000. Okay. So I can pay double the fees, like if it's Litecoin, the fees like less than a penny. So it's not a big deal. XLM, it's less than a penny, which is that's why I like to use as my transfer method. But that's what we do. So I'll send a little bit, pay whatever fee it is, and then I will send the majority. Same using the QR code, same checking the first 10 and the last 10 of the address to make sure it's okay. This has been very successful for me, and doing this due diligence, I have not lost. Okay. So it's not that it's wrong. These are real concerns. It is, how do you play the game though? That's how you play the game. So for right now, if it's lower amounts, I won't necessarily do the double fee. So if it's like 100, 200, not that I want to lose it, But at that level, it's okay for me to try, I've done this before. Let me go from Binance to Coinbase or to my private wallet, right? Because I do most things on my private wallet or overseas exchanges, which has less oversight. I mean, the decentralization is why I like it. I don't want the oversight or the reporting on me. So I do things off there, which is perfectly fine, because then I'm truly more decentralized than everyone else. And that was the point. So that is what we do. So that works, and it is valid, but this is how you play the game. So all of these fears and concerns, they're real, but we figure out how to play them, right? If it's less money, I'll just do a straight transfer and just check the first 10 and last 10 and do it with the QR code or copy and paste. So I'm not like handwriting the address to not have human error, but for the most part, double pay for the large amounts and you'll be okay. So there's too many pump and dump schemes. Now, this is easy to avoid. If a new coin comes out and so I'm going to curse a little bit, but if you're going to be in this world, you need to know the lingo. They're called shit coins because they don't do shit. Like they don't do anything. They are literally there for people to pump it up, for you to make money if you're on the inside, and then it crashes because it had no utility. They have curse words in it. They have vulgarity in it. One's called Bonfire. One's called Poo Coin. These have absolutely no utility. They're just funny. Like it's a funny, like one was like F Elon Musk, like put in the 4-letter word. F Elon Musk after he tanked the market, and that shot to the top. There was like 3 derivations. It has no utility. It's just funny. It's and it has, I guess the utility is that it's funny, it's a poke or a jab at a public figure, and that has value, like if there's a coin that if you don't like a certain president and it has that, there is a certain value in that is being talked about and discussed. So I guess I would say it's not completely, useless. Like having people talk about it, having it pump is something, especially if it's targeted at an individual. I'm not saying it's nice or anything, but you can avoid them very easily, right? I don't generally do those. I might do 1 or 2 at the bottom and then get out. And there's even strategies for that because there's literally Reddit and subreddits and Discord groups called Pump and Dump. Or if you want to, I think it's sort of low vibrational. And I don't like doing those activities, right? But some of you guys don't have the bottom that I have. So even then, if you wanted to, and I'm just talking cerebrally and logically, you could go to groups and organize this and participate in it. I do not, but they're very easy to avoid. I recommend people avoid it, but just because I recommend something doesn't mean people are going to do it. It's low vibrational for me, but you choose where your moral code is, right? So even then you can learn about these pump and dumps or just avoid them entirely. And there's too much time and effort. I generally don't do them. So avoid any coins that just sound funny and have absolutely no utility. Okay. And then if it takes a really sharp spike up, if you're not here on this exponential curve, you're not down here, just let it go. All right. But you can do whatever you want. Next slide. Rug pulls. Now, these are deliberately fake cryptocurrencies. Again, they aren't backed by anything. They generally have a very funny name. They might just have a website, a light white paper, and they're generally new. They're not well vetted. So your strategy to minimize this is to completely just not do new coins that have absolutely no backing, no social media presence, and whatnot. And it can be a rug pull even if it has all of that. So what I personally do, I just don't tend to invest in really new coins, or I check it. There's something called Poo Coin, and it shows you the likelihood of a rug pull, and it looks for different factors like, oh, it says in the contract that you can buy it from them, but you can't sell, because there's literally some in these rug pulls where it says you can't sell. So I go to poocoin.com where they literally analyze it for the likelihood of it being a rug pull, meaning you give them money, but there's nothing that will come back to you. And it checks the different particular rug pull aspects. So it's not that rug pulls don't exist. You literally can check against it because that's already been developed within the market because they knew it was an issue. They already have a whole system of analysis for it. You can literally check a new crap coin and see if it's a rug pull, if it has certain indicators. Certain indicators are 90% of the people it's owned by like 2 people, right? Because they can just dump it on the market after they get all the money. You want it really diversified. So it gives you a rating and indicator standard for it. So it's not that these are very real concerns, but there's also ways to mitigate it. If you want, if you just stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum, which has a very proven track record, infrastructure, time in the market, development team, like this isn't a pump and this is here to stay. And it reflects that in all of its business and its infrastructure. And others have nothing, right? Your strategy, if you're really concerned about this, is to not invest in those. I don't invest in rug pulls. I don't invest in shit coins. I just don't like that. I don't have the time for that. I have the time for $200 a month auto pay, which I honestly don't even do that now because I'm making the interest payments on what I have staked. So honestly, I just sort of let it ride at this point. And that is the low effort I need to be able every 4 years to make the returns. So, make it easy on yourself. And hacks are a really big thing. So what you want to do with the hacking is that for your own personal concern, if your money is on your private wallet, the only way it can get hacked is if they share your private keys. And so that you can easily take care of by keeping your private keys in a safe location that isn't readily available. Okay, so in your own private wallet, it's only if you give them the password or your secret keys. That is the most secure as you can get. Now, the places where it's open to vulnerability is when it's on an exchange. And if you leave the money on exchange, a way that we work with that strategy is not leaving so much on an exchange. Or if you do, have the multiple layers of authentication. One layer is just a password. The second layer is they have to tap, call your phone. Now, this has been very successful for me over the last 4 years. Our hackers getting more sophisticated, yes. But even my bank doesn't have that many layers of security. It just has a password. Some of them require the text message too. But for right now, those are very robust ways for you to protect your accounts. And if they do get hacked, for the most part, most have some sort of insurance. It's not FDIC insurance, it's private insurance in case they're hacked on their servers and it's their fault for letting the person in for you to get your money back. So we will see how that goes. And I don't understand it. Well, your risk management is to follow someone like myself or like the Ellises and educate yourself, because all of these things we have a plan for. There's not one obstacle in cryptocurrency that we have not figured out a strategy or way around it very easily without breaking a sweat. And that's where you need to be. Next slide, please. So for beginners, I just want to go over just these 4 steps. I will go into more. There's resources for you at the end to go deeper into all of this. But hey, I don't want to kill you or overwhelm you. So we're going to just keep it light. So easy strategies for beginners. Figure out your monthly budget and put it on autopilot. Listen, you all who are here today, you have internet, you have $20 a month. If that is your minimum, start with your minimum. Okay. $20. Okay. You can put that $20 in Bitcoin, Ether. You can put it in a stable coin that makes 10%, 20%, but you could do that today. Just autopilot. Okay. 2, if it's 100, do 100. If it's 50, do 50. This is long-term. Stop trying to rush it. If you're not from money, we have to let time be our money, right? So time makes the money grow. Be okay with that. Be okay. And listen, I've done things where I put $10 on my Cash App and I automated, and I looked up and I was like, oh, there's $400 in here. Hey, but like I only put 80, over 8 months, but it grew. So it's like this grows so exponentially fast. $10 matters. Okay. 2, choose a variety of the top coins and stable coins. The top coins and stable coins are the ones that are well known, well established, have infrastructure, have teams working on it, have deliverables, are putting out product, are everywhere, are known, are heavily transacted. We know which ones the main ones are, and I'll list a few on the back. 3, have a long-term outlook of 1 year to 4 years in which you will not look or panic about it. So if you can get your range around the long term or whatever the cycle might be, for some coins, if you look into it and look at the chart, you might notice, every 2 years they have this cycle. Find out what that is by doing just a minimal bit of research, or it's pretty much known that there's a halving cycle in Bitcoin every 4 years. So it goes towards that. That was built into the code. Every so many blocks, which is about every 3 years, 8 months, the supply would be cut in half. So that's the cycle. Right? Other places don't necessarily have cycles like that, but you can look at the historical charts and see, oh, Ethereum is always net up every 3 years or every 2 years, right? So learn about that and have that be part of your strategy for when you're looking at it or making moves or adjusting. And 4, HODL. My strategy is to hold on for dear life. I buy, I hold. It has served me well. So I was putting $200 a month for 2017 to 2021. I don't have to put any money into Bitcoin because the 6% APR that I get weekly and daily, depending on the platform. I use Nexo, which is daily. I have used Celsius, which is weekly. And I also use BlockFi, which is monthly. I get $200 to $400, depending on the price of Bitcoin that week or month. Every month, I don't have to autopilot. It is paying for itself. That was within 4 years. Okay. Next slide. So the top picks for beginners, people always ask me this. So I'm just going to give you what has served me well for the last 4 years and continue to serve me well, especially with it growing. I like Bitcoin. I like Ethereum. It's not going anywhere. Litecoin's amazing. I like Link, Dogecoin. Dogecoin has a huge community. It stays relevant. It's not going anywhere. It is not going anywhere. I like stable coins like USDC and Gemini dollars. So USDC is like the Circle, like, Coinbase sort of backs it or is related to it. And Gemini dollar is sort of backed by the Gemini brothers who have their own exchange. Both are very stable companies that are, I think Gemini is going public. They're both audited. They both have the cash that they say they have. They are both acting above board type of companies. So who say if they have this much in value, that's tying this to the stable coin, that they have it. So there's other ones that are out there that I've also used and I'm comfortable using. But when you're new, go with older and established. And when you're, if a new one comes around and it's offered 40% interest rate, just take a little bit of your money and get into it. Understand it's volatile and it doesn't have the depth and history. So it can disappear overnight. But you can mitigate that risk by not participating in that market, already participating with your high risk money. So maybe you have $10 or $20 a month. That's your high risk pile, right? But you understand it's your high risk pile. I like Mana for Decentraland. My land, and I have to do something on the metaverse. I purchased in Decentraland and the Sandbox. So I purchased 2 properties on Decentraland for about $2,500, which was a certain amount of Mana. Mana is used within Decentraland for buying and purchasing and enacting trade on that platform. And I just got, I get bids every 2 weeks for that same land I bought for $2,500 for $10,000. So if I wanted to, I can flip it and make $20,000 from $5,000, which is pretty cool. But I'm here for the long term, so I see the future of it. I completely see the future of it, and I think it's going to grow. So I'm not selling, and if I do, I'd probably just rent it out. So if someone wanted to build on it and do some sort of business, they can rent it from me. So I bought in 2 pretty cool locations. And sand, I purchased for about, I think, $600 each, and now I'm getting offers of about 6. It's a lot of money. It's like $6,000 per plot. For the 4 that I have, it's like $24,000 from 2,400. So 10x, and that was within a year and a half too. So I recommend Sand and Mana. They are growing. They're amazing. Sand is just like Roblox, which my daughter literally watches or plays all the time, and she's 5. So like, there's something there. My goal actually with her is that they build little Roblox worlds. So when she's older and she can learn how to program, like around 8 or 7, hope sooner the better, that she can design these Roblox games that she watches on TV, and she can do the designs and set them up, because you can actually get paid for people coming onto your Roblox land and playing, because when you create on the land and make it so people stay in, you get paid. I think it's by the gameplay or people being on your land. And that's hey, yeah, let my daughter do it. Like I'd rather her be inside learning how to program at 8 in her free time, because I know what the future is. So yeah, if we can go on to the next slide, and there's 16,000 more. These are just the easiest ones. So more advanced ways to invest: the passive income by staking. I make 5 to 20% APY on everything I own for the most part. It is making money. Look into digital real estate, as I was saying with land, Sandbox, and Mana. They literally just had a news article that they gave out a mortgage on digital land because someone wanted to purchase, but it was too expensive. So someone got a mortgage on digital real estate, and the bank used it as collateral. Isn't that crazy? Or not? I mean, if you know what's the future, and the banks are catching on slowly. If you have an art bin, you can look into NFTs, right? I just met an artist and we were talking about this, and he's like, I don't really get it like that, but he's an artist. So he's like, wow, oh my God, what can I do? And you can lend out your money. So there are advanced ways that you can do this. Next slide. There's also peer-to-peer networks where if you want to get Bitcoin but not go through an exchange, you can do it from a private seller on like the Bisq network. And literally you have it, someone pays you in PayPal or Amazon gift cards or whatever you want, and you pay them. And you can make 9-10% interest rate on that. Okay. People who want to remain anonymous about their Bitcoin holdings, anywhere from $100 to $500 or what people feel pretty comfortable with. And then it has its own mechanisms in place to keep it safe, where they lock the coins until one acknowledges so it's like escrowed. And when the other person acknowledges they receive it, then it releases. The person never, and then they have like a whole, I'm thinking of actually joining their DAO. Like if there is a discrepancy, they have someone who's like on the board, like who'll come and look at the situation, see what happens. And they even have a fund to compensate people. So I'm actually really looking. I have to write that down. There's some certain places like that I'm like, I think I'd like to be on the board as well. So that is in a nutshell. I hope this was informative and helpful and can you go back to the last slide? Okay, so I do have different replays and workshops that I've done on this. If you wanted to go deeper, I have like workshops on buying and selling your first coins, security, and top 5 coins to start. And I go into more detail on what kind of different coins there are, the different landscapes, which ones I like and why, but which ones you should like. Part 2, which coins should you buy and why? Also, how you can make money off of buying exchange coins, wallet coins, and infrastructure coins, and what those are, because they're their own little segment, but it's been very lucrative. I made $35,000 off of it, and I still make money off of it. This is some of my highest staking. Also, I have things on avoiding taxes legally and other methods. 5 passive income, low to medium risk staking options that can get you 5 to 20% interest. Once you get past 5 to 20%, it gets into higher risk. Because it's no longer on platforms that have customer service and can help you if something goes wrong or if the technology sticks. It's sort of the wild, wild west where you can make high returns, but if it gets lost, you don't have anyone to help you, right? So there is difference between low risk and the low risk, the 5 to 20%. That's easy money, okay? I get the 20% on my private wallet, on the Atomic wallet, by holding AWC coins, which is the wallet coin that I was talking about in the $35,000. Like for holding that wallet coin, they give me 20%, and I use that all the time. Part 6, creative ways I bought 2 more Bitcoin within the last 2 months, and a lot of different gems that you can do. And I have an upcoming live on how I quadruple my assets by investing in digital real estate and going into the digital real estate market, and what new frontiers we're looking at and where I'm going to buy some more. So those are so you can go to the next slide. So if you're interested in going deeper in your knowledge and nuance and learning how to play this game, the money is here. Like I keep making money. Like that is what I'm trying to educate you guys, because I don't want your lack of knowledge or misinformation or being misschooled or misplayed. I don't want you missing out, because you can easily understand how this works and profit from it. And we need more happy people profiting from this. And this is such a huge opportunity.
Lisa, you did it. You did it again. I'm telling you, that information that you were sharing about misinformation, that was extremely helpful for me. So I took copious notes. And so that was just tremendous. I mean, the way you broke it down, I don't know if you saw the Facebook comments, because I don't think you get to see them on your screen, but I'm telling you, people are just lighting the flames up on saying, hey, everybody wants to get started after listening to you who hasn't.
Good.
Those who are in it, people are definitely wanting to continue and grow into even more strategies. I just got a couple questions for you. And so everybody here, guess what? We're not going to get to all the questions you put in the chat today, but we are going to talk to you about our membership here toward the end. And so Lisa is going to be a part of our mastermind on this Wednesday at 9:00. So
Excited.
has some Q&A so you can have some more intimate space with her. But I got a couple questions that came up that I just wanted to highlight. But how much crypto would you say someone should have?
I am a time person. So So you can ask me more specifically, but honestly, if you only have X amount of money, you should have a little bit of crypto, right? So if you only have like, I mean, if gosh, this is such a hard question to answer. So you have, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I break things down by how much money you have. Okay. So I'm going to do that. So if you are someone with about a disposable income of an extra $500 a month for investments, I think that's a little disposable. Like you have a $500 fund for investments. It can go to stocks or 401k, whatever it is. You should definitely have at least 20% of that in crypto, if not more. Okay. Now, if you're someone where literally it's sort of hard and you have an extra, you can come up with an extra $50 a month, but that's all you can do. I would say put the 50 on that. You know what I mean? So there's other asset class you can be investing in. You can be investing in stocks and da 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 da. But if you only have $50, you investing that in Bitcoin or a stable or something else will get you a lot more money than the stocks where we're at this juncture in 2022. Money is to be made in the stock market. People are making money, but the amount of returns you can get from just putting money there and waiting 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years has completely outclassed, and these are by the numbers, anything you could do in stocks. So once you know that it's a time frame, go ahead and do that because investing is long-term anyways, at least the way that I do it. So yeah, I would say sort of break it down. Like if you have more, about 20%, if not more. And then if you have less, just put that little bit each month or each week on it that you can, but it is worth it because that is how you go from I'm a janitor to now I'm good. I bought a house in the islands within 8 years. And I've literally have seen this.
Wow.
And then you don't even have to put money in anymore. It makes money on its own through staking and passive income. I'm there. Like I don't have to.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. That was phenomenal. Now, Litecoin. Mentioned Litecoin a couple times.
I love it.
Had a couple questions in the chat on where people would be able to purchase that.
This is why I like Litecoin. I like it because it is available everywhere. If it's available, if Bitcoin is there, Litecoin is there. If Ethereum is here, Litecoin. You cannot say that about every coin. There's a lot of cheap, fast coins out there. Ripple's not everywhere. It's been pulled because of the SEC regulation. So just because it's here and Bitcoin, it doesn't mean it is. XLM, that one's pretty good too. So XLM and Litecoin. But the reason I like those two is because there's faster ones that people are talking about. So if you get in the business, they're like, oh, I use Nano or Atom or this or to transfer money because it's cheap and it's lightweight. But not every exchange has Nano. They all have Litecoin. So when I'm taking my money and I'm going to different exchanges that are all over the world because I want to get a coin that's pumping and I can only get it off this website that's in Japan, I'm using Litecoin because I know it's going to be there. Atom won't, Nano won't, EOS might, you know what I mean?
Right.
XLM might not be there. So you can get it at every exchange, wherever you can buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can buy Litecoin. That's what I like about it because you want something that is fast, cheap, and easy, but always available. Not everything is available, but because it came up with those, it has its place. I remember I went to my gold dealer and he had Bitcoin. I was like, can you add Litecoin? It took him a second because any place Bitcoin is available, they can just go in their back end and go make this available too. And I could send it to them.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So that was tremendous. So now you all know how to do that. And we have more questions, but we're not going to be able to get to all the questions right now. So I hate to leave everybody hanging, but come to the mastermind on Wednesday. We did document a few more of those questions. Some really good ones came up, like, starting your own coin. So we're going to definitely be hitting that. That's going to be exciting. So much more to come. But Lisa, thank you so much for gracing us here at Master Builder Academy again. You have a resounding fan group here. You have made us more knowledgeable, encourage us to do more for our financial future and even our financial present. And so we just thank you so much and really looking forward to connecting again on Wednesday.
I'm more than happy to hear. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Lisa, thank you so much. And next up, we're going to bring up to close us out here today, the world famous. Okay, all right. Well, at least famous to the United States. I'm just letting you know, Erica Berry, who has the owner and is the owner of Buttercream Naturals. She's also a Master Builder Academy board member and one of the originators of this organization that we all care about so much. Thank you very much all for attending, and please tune into what Erica has, because she got some information that you want to get this. And so Erica, please come on, and see you all later. Thank you so much, Master Builders.
John, I'm going to claim worldwide, world famous master builder, Buttercream Naturals owner. I'm taking it, John. You said it. I'm taking it. So you guys, what an awesome forum. Master Builders Academy Forum number 3 of 2022, already off to an excellent year. This was great. By now, you should have your thoughts together about digital stock investing. What are you going to do? You learn digital stock investing terminology for this is how many times have we talked about this? And now you have the formula to digital investing. You have no excuse. I sat here today and I said, apparently I got $5 a day for my latte of any kind, ice, whatever, which is $150 a month. If I've got that, I've got this for Bitcoins. No excuses. So before we end, why don't you go ahead and share this video with your friends and your family so that they can get the information. And let's share the information so we can all grow together. So to be more involved with Master Builders Academy and to get more support as you start this journey this year, we would like to offer you the Master Builders membership opportunity. To sign up, send an email to masterbuildersacademymba@gmail.com or simply visit our website at masterbuildersacademy.org. Scroll down to where it says register now and click on Let's Go. Now for your opportunity. Why are you joining Master Builders Academy? There's got to be some reasons behind it, right? So here are some of the levels that we have in Master Builders Academy. First, it's the platinum level. It's $1,000 a year, pocket change, curriculum updated regularly. You get a mentorship. You get coaching for your business, for your finances, for real estate. Master Builders regular scheduled forums 2 times a month, masterminds 2 times a month, invited to open board member meetings once a month, access to the library for the forums, the PowerPoint, the handouts. If you missed anything today, if you're a member, you get that information. Ability to bring a guest to the meetings, the annual MBA events, and ability to promote, market your business through MBA, video promo of member businesses, and merchandise access. That is the platinum level at $1,000 a year. And then we have the gold level, $500 a year. You get the curriculum updated regularly. You get group coaching, Master Builders regular scheduled forums 2 times a month, the masterminds 2 times a month, access to the library, the forums, the PowerPoints, the ability to bring a person to the meeting, the annual MBA event, and business promotion and marketing through MBA and merchandise access. So you see, you lost a little bit from platinum to gold, but you're still getting a lot of excellent opportunities. And then we have another level. And the next level to it here in just a moment. All right, it's silver, $250 a year. Master Builders, regular scheduled forums, mastermind 2 times a month, access to your meeting, and the MBA events and the merchandise access. And I believe causing me a few problems. The student level, which is $50 a year, and that is for persons guys, I'm having a little trouble, but access to the library, the masterminds, and as you can see, there's a few more, there's some of the same things that was in the other levels that's available to you. Okay, again, send an email to masterbuildersacademymba@gmail.com. The same way we began with prayer, we're going to end in prayer. So, Lord, we want to thank you for allowing us to come together today to share in these accomplishments and successes. Help us to keep these things in mind and continue to take action so that we accomplish. We know that we are still in a pandemic and our world looks different and functions differently than in the past. But we trust that you will bless us with thoughts, strategies, and plans to accomplish what we have set out to accomplish. Lord, please watch over us and keep us and our families safe. Send healing to the sick and throughout the land. Help us to progress and move forward and keep our eyes focused on you, God. In Jesus' name, amen. See you at the next forum, and we'll see all members on this Wednesday evening for the mastermind. And God bless you. Have a wonderful day. I'm buying my Bitcoin today. I'm getting my Litecoin today. You guys have a great week.